Are you looking for ways to stay healthy on your next plane trip, especially if you're traveling with kids? If so, stay tuned because many work-at-home moms travel during the winter months, either for vacations, business trips, or to see family. In today's episode, I have some easy, low-cost, healthy travel hacks that helped me travel across the country in February with 3 kiddos. My youngest is only 5 months and we traveled to the dreamiest place, Disney World, and we still made it out all right. So if you are interested in seeing how these can work for you and your family, then let me get started. If we haven't met yet, my name is Casey. I am a mama of 3 running an online business helping women detox their personal care routines and then sharing my journey here with you on YouTube. Thankfully, we made it back healthy. And now I also want to give a little disclaimer here that we are a healthy family already. We don't have any medical issues, and this is not intended to replace any sort of medical advice for you. This is just my experience as a mom traveling across country with 3 kiddos and staying healthy. There are 10 things that I took with me or that I prepared for on this trip, and those are what I want to share with you, so I'm going to dig right in. The first issue that I wanted to address was hydration. The air in airplanes is very dry, which helps viruses spread, and there are a lot of people in a contained space. So I wanted to make sure that we stayed hydrated. I brought along a little electrolyte pack that I could put right in my water so that I would drink and get all of the hydration from the water. These things that I picked up at the grocery store are non-GMO and organic. I don't know much about this brand, but I really just wanted something to keep us hydrated on the plane. The second thing was snacks. I packed so many snacks for us because I wanted to be prepared with organic, healthy, nutritious snacks that were easy to grab and go so that we weren't tempted by a bag of popcorn or treats while we were out and about. The things that were hits with my family were these paleo bars that were organic that I picked up from Costco. I took bags of trail mix with a few M&Ms in them and some grass-fed beef meat sticks that were packaged that are easy to grab and go, as well as some fruit bars that were also organic that I picked up. Now these aren't obviously the healthiest snacks in the world, but they're a lot healthier than eating out, and they actually saved us a lot of money too. On the morning that we got on the plane, I prepped up a bunch of vegetables, carrots, cucumbers, and peppers, and I just chopped them up and put them in a Ziploc bag for us to take and then be able to throw away the bag, and also a bag of fruit, apples and pears. And my secret trick for apples when they're sliced is to add fresh squeezed lemon juice on them so that they don't brown. Having that fresh produce on the first flight over was so incredibly helpful, and then having all of those packaged snacks to grab and go while we were out and about over the course of the week was wonderful. And the other thing that I did while we were traveling, especially on the plane, is to wash our hands. And I know that you know this. This is a simple thing, but washing your hands with warm soap and water kills so many germs that it really helps reduce the spread of illnesses when you're out in public places. I just stepped up our game a little bit while we were traveling and made sure that the kids washed their hands incredibly religiously so that they didn't spread anything, especially to the little baby. I was traveling with my husband and my mom as well, thank goodness, and I gave them each a bottle of hand sanitizer spray so that we could all be prepared with hand sanitizer at all times. And I don't know if you've seen these Stasher bags, but they are silicone reusable Ziploc bags. They're so handy for not just your vitamins and your snacks, but I also use these for my essential oils as well as my personal care products. The other thing that I prepared for and thought about was having all of our vitamins and supplements. I wanted to make sure that all of us as a family had enough vitamin D, vitamin C, and all of our personal vitamins that we take on a daily basis so that they were supplemented well, even if we weren't eating the best during the week. Now, a lot of times when you're traveling, you're out to celebrate something, or you're going to be eating out of your normal routine. So you might be having more sweets or treats than normal. And that's totally fine. But what I like to do when I'm traveling with kids during the winter, especially if I want to avoid getting sick, is to eat very intentionally. If I know that, say, we're gonna celebrate by having a birthday dinner and have birthday cake one night, then I'll try to be real intentional about eating a healthy breakfast and getting some greens and some fresh vegetables in for lunch. Even when you're out and about, you can still make conscious choices to get a lot of nutrition into yourself and your kids so that you have a little bit more flexibility when you do go for that piece of cake in the evening. Fueling and supporting our body and our immune system is so essential in order to be able to battle anything that we come across, which we're just bound to come across more things when you're in more public places. Another practice that I like to implement when traveling in order to stay healthy is water only. No juice, no sports drinks, no sodas, no anything else, just drink water and lots of it. This, number one, keeps your body hydrated. It keeps any unnecessary calories or empty calories out of your body. It reduces your sugar intake and it saves you money when you're on the road. Another thing that I like to pack with me whenever I travel is activated charcoal capsules. It really helps upset stomach or if you get any tummy upset. So having those on hand are really great because even if you can get access to them, usually it's past the time when you need them. So having a couple on hand is always helpful. If you have kids, you can mix them in with a little bit of applesauce. My son calls it tractor sauce because it's black sauce and he just loves it, especially if he has an upset tummy. Now let's talk about the things that you can pack with you. I take an essential oil kit with me wherever I go, and I usually get them all set up in little rollers. I keep kind of the basics on hand. I always have lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree, frankincense, and maybe lemon or something else. One night while we were away, my daughter did get a really bad cough and she was up, and I put a little bit of the eucalyptus oil on her chest and the bottoms of her feet, and she was able to thankfully sleep soundly the rest of the night. My new favorite little travel buddy is my mini humidifier. Now this is perfect for taking into hotel rooms because it's tiny. You can pack it on your suitcase. It's always nice to get some humidity going in the air. It really does help reduce the spread of flu, which nobody wants when they're traveling or while they're at home. And I will link that study in the description below that talks about this because since I have found this out, I have my humidifier running pretty much all the time in our home during the winter. And so when I decided to travel, I wanted to make sure that I could take that little remedy with me. I got this little guy for like 20 bucks on Amazon and it is a game changer. I will definitely take this with me wherever I travel now. Now, my last two things that I'm going to share with you today are basically my panacea for anybody in our home at any time, and they travel easy also. Number one, and this is more for me or adults because kids don't like it so much, but fire cider. It's this immune boosting tonic that is filled with all kinds of goodness for your body. It's got an apple cider vinegar base, it's got garlic, onions, citrus, usually cayenne, a whole slew of stuff. Basically, it's this powerful tonic to really just get your immune system kicked into high gear to beat whatever it is that you have going on in there. Whenever I feel a little hint of something coming on, I will always take a shot of fire cider a day, and I do believe that it has kept the doctor away. Now, as you can imagine, if you haven't tried this, it is spicy AF, and my kids don't like it, so I take this for me, and then my panacea for kids is wet socks. It's so simple and so effective and so easy to travel with. You take a pair of thin cotton socks, and you take a pair of wool socks. Now it sounds crazy, but right before bed or right as they're tucking into bed, you get the cotton socks wet with cold water. You get them as cold as you possibly can. You squeeze all of the water out and then you put them on their feet and immediately put the wool socks dry on top and then tuck them into bed. Now it sounds really uncomfortable, but it's not. Your body automatically starts to warm up your feet to dry those socks out, which kicks your circulation into gear, which kicks your immune system into gear, and within 30 minutes, you're often feeling better. These are a good treatment for reducing fevers, for any sort of respiratory issues, any sort of cold or flu symptoms. I try to always have these on hand now because one time I traveled to Hawaii with my son who was probably 3, and he got some sort of influenza or stomach bug, had a super high fever, and I had no way to treat it. So now, after having that experience, and we made it through, thankfully, now I travel with all of these things on hand and I feel so much better prepared. Again, big disclaimer, I have no medical expertise, and this is not meant to replace any sort of medical expert opinion that you are seeking from your doctor or your healthcare provider. These are just holistic ways to boost your immune system and support your body so that you can hopefully travel safely with children by plane in even the sickest months of the year. So I hope some of those ideas will be helpful for you on your next trip or vacation or business trip or time away seeing family. Like I said in the beginning, I am a mom of 3 running an online business, and I have so much to juggle, especially when I'm getting prepared to travel, that time is the utmost important thing to me. If you can relate and feel like there's just not enough hours in the day, then you need to grab my Time Hack Toolkit. It is the best resources that I've found, and it's not just another list of things that take a ton of time to implement. This is a document that you can read and implement and find a few more hours in your day in under 3 minutes. If you're over on my blog, there'll be a big teal button right below this video. Pop in your name and email and I'll send it right over to your email inbox. Question of the week. What are your favorite travel hacks, and how do you keep your family and yourself healthy when you're on the go? Thank you for joining me, and I will look forward to seeing you in next week's episode.